I know what it looks like. It looks like a gym in 1970s upstate New York. High ceilings, a lot of people. And that looks like a mirror on the ground. And it looks like some cut branches that are around it on the floor. But you're mistaken. It's not a gym at all. It's a magical glade. And that is a magical pool. And it is surrounded by magical trees. And the people here, the women and the girls, they're all magical people. And we start to say all together, cross your little fingers, stand up on your toes. There's a bit of magic every brownie knows. Now we're all standing in a forest glade. Listen very carefully as the magic is made. Twist me and turn me and show me the elf. And show me the elf. I look in the water and I see myself. This is one of the best days of my 8-year-long life. I've just been welcomed into the local brownie troupe, and it's perfect for me. The brown little uniforms and the wonderful little caps, and this ritual with the water and looking into the water, seeing myself. I see myself there. I recognize myself. I know who I am there. I have the same haircut when I was 8 years old that I have now, more or less. And I'm surrounded by girls, and I'm just like them. And I'm surrounded by women, and I'm going to become just like them. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. And it's a joy. 8th grade. And I'm in the back of the library. And it's a circle of girls on the floor. I found myself there unexpectedly. This sort of thing doesn't happen. They seem to have made a mistake. They let me in. I don't know how it happened. I'm surrounded by girls and waved hair and cowl necks. And they're talking. They're just talking like girls around the world talk. They're talking, I don't know, about celebrities, boys. And I watch them. And I don't join in the talk because I don't know how. I watch them. Their ability to talk to each other is no less magical to me than the brownie ritual of many years ago. How did they figure out how to do that? I don't know. But it's easy for them. And it's really hard for me. And there's a part of me that's up here watching, looking down. And I know this inability that I have is going to bring me pain. But around the same time, a new student arrives. We don't get new students very much in upstate New York. Most of us are there for life. But every once in a while, a new student arrives, and she comes. And immediately, it's like my brownie sense is alive. I know we're alike. If she had been there back there, I'm sure she would have been a brownie, just like me. And we make a beeline to each other. We're so similar. One of the things, every age has its slurs and slurs and mean things. And back then, There was almost nothing meaner that could be yelled out at you than the word floods. Floods. It meant that your pants were just a little too high. They weren't sitting on the top of the shoe. And in order to shame people, you would just yell it out whether they had floods or not. Well, needless to say, me and my friend, we got floods yelled at us all the time. But we had an amazing magical power that I had with no one else, which is that we would go down the hallway and we would laugh and crack each other up, and we'd hold up our pants and we'd say, look, floods, floods. The power of taking back the accusation, the cruelty, and laughing at it. Laughing at it. A few months later, we happened to be sitting around having one of those deep conversations that children have, in this case about God. By then, everyone knew that I was an oddity in that, unlike everybody else in the school who was Roman Catholic, I had watched them all go through First Communion and confirmation together. I had been brought up an atheist. I was insulted for a whole lot of things there and teased. But for some reason, not for this. I think even they were pretty cynical about this whole religion thing. But we were sitting there, and I mentioned what I often mention, which is that I don't believe in God. And my new friend was sitting nearby, and her face went white. The next day, she came to me. She said, I've talked with my dad, and he said, I shouldn't judge you for not believing in God. But I could see her heart wasn't in it, and we were no longer alike, and I was alone again. Put in the middle. After the circle, there's one good example of this amongst many. The day when I was brownie age, I wore overalls alike. They were as good as brownie uniforms, right? Do you remember those? This is before overalls became a fashion statement. It was still the old work overalls, Oshkosh, right? Dark blue, denim, that's it. And they had those great clips and all the buttons going up the side. I liked overalls. But I made a mistake one day. In something like 7th grade, I wore them to school. To be honest, I'm not sure my classmates could believe what they were seeing. They could tell there was somebody who did not fit and didn't even know it. And they started yelling names at me, farmer, anything they could. And those became my names for the next few years. I never wore overalls again, but it was too late. And then the friend. By now,